Okay, I suggest that you watch this one time through and then you go back to the start and you follow along, and at times when you need to, you hit pause, either the teacher or if you're watching this on your own and you need to pause at whatever time, then you do so. So one time through, just watch it beginning to end and then do it on your own with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear this in half because I am only going to need half of it at one time. I'm going to make 2 pinch pots eventually, and you want to make them about the same size. So you want to have about the same amount of clay. Now what I'm going to make right now would be 2 relatively small pinch pots with the amount of clay that I have. If you need to make bigger pinch pots, you would want to start with more clay. But since I'm doing a practice one, I'm just grabbing a small amount of clay right now. So since we're practicing, this amount of clay is fine. When you're doing it for your real project, grab what amount of clay you think is appropriate. Okay? Okay, so tearing it in half just by twisting. If it's really off, you can grab a little bit of clay from one and add it to the other. This is close enough for me for practice. I'm not that bothered. Okay, so one piece off to the side. With this piece, I am simply going to squish it into a rough sphere. Okay, maybe roll it a little bit in my hands. Does not need to be perfect at all. Just needs to be pretty much a circle. And that looks about right. Okay, holding it in one hand, take the thumb of your other hand, and you are going to press it in. Kind of feel like where it is towards the bottom. Obviously you don't want to come all the way through. I want to feel like I'm about that far away from the bottom. All right, and it should look something like that. And now when I'm pinching, this is my key advice. All right, this is where people go wrong right from the start. When I'm pinching, I am going to use my thumb and my fingers. Usually I just use 2. And I am going to pinch just around the bottom. All right, no pressure up here at the top. So I'm going to pinch at the bottom and turn, bottom and turn, bottom and turn, all the way around. And it kind of ends up looking like a weird little, I don't even know what the head is, kind of a weird little shape there. And notice that it's really fat still here up at the top and it's thinner at the bottom. Okay, but the hole got a little bit bigger just from my hand being kind of inside there. And now I'm going to put my thumb back in and I'm going to press around the side now, like the middle. And I'm going to press and turn just around the middle. Okay, not around the top at all. Press and turn, press and turn, press and turn, press and turn, press and turn. Okay, so the top is still pretty fat. That middle or that center got a little bit bigger just from pressing. Okay, so now my side or my middle and my bottom are a little bit skinnier, but my top is still fat. And now I'm going to come up to the top and I'm just going to very gently press around the top to even it out. And I'm only pressing enough to even it up with that middle part. And I want the thickness of the rim to be about the thickness of my pinky. I don't want to make it any thinner than that. And if I have these wrinkles here and stuff like that, yeah, I could smooth them out a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about it very much at all because later on I'll do lots of smoothing. If you have any nails at all, you will have little fingernail marks in there. Don't worry about it. We'll smooth those out later. But you want your pot to basically look something like that. And the last thing I do is I go and I feel around the entire pot and I feel for any little chunky monkey areas and I press those to even them out. So it feels pretty even. I had maybe a couple little areas that were a little bit different than the other areas. And I can gently tap the bottom, just give it a nice little area to rest on, and that's a decent little pinch pot. Okay, that's it. That's all you have to worry about. Start there, and you can review it now and do your own.